right now on News Channel 8 at 6.
Good evening, I'm Keith Cate.
And I'm Stacy Scheibel. Thank you for joining us. A gloomy day in downtown Tampa today. A few peaks of sunshine here and there, but boy, can you feel that chill in the air tonight. Storm Team 8 Chief Meteorologist Steve Jervey with more on that.
Yeah, Stacy, we'll see more sunshine tomorrow, but for this evening it'll be cool. Clearing skies, temperatures dropping quickly into the low 60s and upper 50s. Keep in mind, too, we have a strong northwesterly wind. This cold front is now clear of us, so we're definitely feeling much chillier conditions, if you want to call it a wind chill. 87 degrees yesterday, big changes here. 19-degree temperature drop as we forecast for Friday. 68 degrees for a high, although the weekend is definitely shaping up a little bit warmer. Our forecast wind chills here headed into the overnight. Going to be chilly this evening. Bring a jacket, certainly to start the day. These are feels-like temperatures, not actual temperatures, but obviously with a stronger wind, we expect it to feel a little bit cooler. We'll look in greater detail at the weekend forecast and a warmer week next week coming up.
News Channel 8 is your local election headquarters, and tonight we have some breaking news. Florida's machine recount is over, and unofficial results show two big races still too close to call. The race for the U.S. Senate and Agricultural Commissioner will require a manual recount, meaning a hand recount of undervotes and overvotes in those two races only. Now, the race between Governor Rick Scott and Senator Nelson is within that margin of 0.25%. It is the same for Ag Commissioner between Democrat Nikki Fried and Republican Matt Caldwell. As for Florida governor, the unofficial results show Republican Ron DeSantis has won. There will be no recount in that race. Once the results are certified next week, DeSantis will be declared the winner and the next governor of Florida. The deadline to submit the machine recount actually ended at 3 o'clock today. But in Hillsborough County, those results were still not submitted to the state. News Channel 8 political reporter Evan Donovan is at the Hillsborough Elections Office right now to explain why they didn't send those newly recounted numbers in. Evan.
Yeah, good evening to you, Keith. Hillsborough County Election Supervisor Craig Latimer tells us that after 5 days of recounting the votes, the new machine recounted total was about 800 votes less than what they'd counted initially last week. So rather than those votes not count, the county canvassing board is simply resubmitting its first initial unofficial results, and that is legal under Florida law. Craig Latimer tells us that they had a power outage yesterday, and that may be what caused some election counting issues on those votes. He's not sure, but either way, he said the difference after the recount was only about 1/100th of a percentage point. So he felt comfortable going back to those initial election results. He also said that Governor Rick Scott's lawsuit against the county for not letting people back into the ballot counting area to not just see but hear what's going on may cause him to make some changes here in Hillsborough County.
Does Governor Scott's lawsuit have some validity? Shouldn't we be able to hear what's going on back there?
We're going to look at that for sure. We're going to see if we can come up with some other solutions. Don't know the full impact of that right now, but we're going to look at that.
Now, as you just heard from Keith, there is a manual recount that starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow in all 67 of Florida's counties for the Agriculture Commissioner race and the U.S. Senate race. But right here in Hillsborough County, there's another recount going to be happening in the State Senate District 18 race. That's Tampa's state senator, the race between Dana Young and Janet Cruz. The new total, the margin between the two of them, is only 376 votes. And we're told about 5,000 ballots will need to be manually recounted. Live in Tampa, Evan Donovan, News Channel 8.
And you can count on News Channel 8 to bring you the election results once they are finalized. We will send those results straight to your phone if you have the News Channel 8 app.
And we have more breaking news at this hour. Robert E. Lee Elementary School in Tampa now has a new name. The school is going to be called Tampa Heights Elementary. News Channel 8's Chip Osowski joins us live from the school board headquarters where this news just came out. Chip.
Yeah, and there were a lot of names that were suggested. A couple of those, Mary Ellen Elia Elementary and Trayvon Martin Elementary. There were dozens. Take a look at this list that school board members had to mull over. The name change proposal was first brought up in spring of 2017. Many in the community believe having a school named after a Confederate commander is a slap in the face. Then the school caught on fire. There were some who wondered if the school was going to be rebuilt at all. But the school district worked that out. The speakers who addressed school board members were split. Some wanted the school named Tampa Heights. Others argued for VME Board. Board member Tamara Schamberger calls the renaming a victory for the entire community.
Just really thrilled that this community can finally heal and get this name behind it. It has really been a stigma and a problem in this community for many years. As I mentioned, it's been this name for 75 years now, and it's just been there 75 years too long. So I'm thrilled that we can move forward and create new history.
And the school district's insurance carrier is paying to have that school, Tampa Heights Elementary, rebuilt. It's estimated that it will cost between $10 and $20 million. Reporting live in downtown Tampa, I'm Chip Osowski, News Channel 8.
Also breaking tonight at 6, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is investigating a death in the Claremelle Palm River area. Deputies are responding to the scene. It's along 16th Avenue South and Margaret Street. Deputies tell us the investigation is only in the beginning stages, so information very limited. We'll bring you updates as soon as we get them.
A mystery in Manatee County tonight where a man's body was set on fire. Someone spotted that body on fire last night along MJ Road in Mayaca City. Detectives believe the man was killed before he was burned.
This is not a heavily populated road, so someone may have been looking at this as a good location to leave a body.
It's not something you want to wake up to in the morning and find out this is happening in basically my very backyard.
Officials determined the victim was a black male in his late teens or early 20s.
A Pasco County mother has become a viral sensation for her school bus stop video. Have you seen this? Monica Douglas and 2 other moms filmed drivers passing a stopped school bus. What the drivers didn't know is that Pasco County Sheriff's deputies would be waiting to catch them. 9 drivers were cited during the traffic stop. Douglas says she filmed the video to make others aware.
We was like, wow, really? Nobody would stop for this? So me and Barbie just started recording, but I'm just glad that they're doing all of 19 as well. Yeah. And it's awesome that they were able to come in and do such a thing for us.
Douglas says she never thought the video would go viral, but it now has more than 7 million views.
St. Pete police have arrested a man for attempted murder. Joseph Knowles is accused of shooting a man multiple times last Friday. The victim's name has not been released. Clearwater police arrested John Thomas for a convenience store robbery. He was seen jumping over the counter at the 7-Eleven on Drew Street and taking cash out of the register.
Well, coming up, today's cool down is a perfect time for wildlife lovers.
Yeah, manatee season. Oh, you love that. It has finally begun. And we will tell you how some Bay Area parks are getting ready to welcome the slow-moving mammals. Plus,
the VA sucks. They're terrible.
A Bay Area veteran in pain seeks help at Bay Pines VA. What he got was a request to leave. Coming up, the neurological disorder another hospital diagnosed him with in less than an hour.
And a live look at downtown Tampa from the News Channel 8 Tower Cam tonight. You can feel the cool down and a little bit of a breeze out there. Your Storm to May forecast with Steve Jervey is straight ahead.
Right now, the world's largest theme park and attractions conference is taking place in Orlando, and the Bay Area well represented. In addition to big names like Busch Gardens and Legoland, Tampa's own Galaxy Amusement Sales is also there on the floor of the Orange County Convention Center.
When you go to your favorite park and you have your favorite meal, or you win a prize at a game, or you go on a big thrilling new roller coaster, those folks designed that, they created it, and they sell it, and this is the place where they all come together to say this is why you should care.
Legoland actually gave a sneak peek of its new ride, the Lego Movie Masters of Flight, yesterday. That ride opens early next spring.
Today is the start of manatee season in the Tampa Bay area. It runs from today through March 31st. Staff and volunteers at Crystal River National Wildlife Refuge Complex setting up some buoys for the manatee sanctuaries. The springs in Citrus and Hernando counties are a great place to see dozens of manatees at a time, since the temperature of the springs is so much warmer than the Gulf during the winter. And you know those sea cows love the warm water.
Oh, yeah. It's finally that time. Well, crippled by intense pain, a Pinellas County veteran begged the VA for help.
You're a drug seeker and a faker.
Instead, they called him a liar. Coming up, the diagnosis another hospital gave this veteran and what Bay Pines has to say about that.
Plus, a live look at Max Defender 8. Pretty quiet right now, just chilly out there. Steve will tell us about these cool temperatures coming up.
Steve Andrews is giving a voice to the voiceless and taking the powerful to task. Now, 8 on Your Side investigates.
This veteran suffers excruciating pain. He begged the VA for help. One doctor told him he's a faker. Questions tonight about the care or lack of treatment provided to a Pinellas County veteran.
In agony, as you could see there, he went to the VA at Bay Pines, and doctors told him they couldn't find anything wrong. And he tells senior investigative reporter Steve Andrews that's when he became a veteran mistreated.
This veteran just wanted to know what was wrong with him. The VA failed to diagnose his problem, and he claims it outright abused him.
Oh, help me, God, please. Help me.
Mike Henry's life is a living hell. In June, his shoulder began swelling up for no apparent reason.
It hurts in here, it hurts in here.
The swelling spread to Mike's neck and face. It affects his vision and breathing. He suffers stomach, back, and cervical pain.
She feels like somebody has a knife, a steak knife in here, and they're just slowly twisting it.
Muscles in Mike's face go into spasm, making it difficult to speak. His neck swells up to twice its normal size.
That's very dangerous. I mean, your throat can close up, asphyxia.
Mike, an Air National Guard flight medic deployed to Iraq for both Desert Storm and Desert Shield, sought help from the VA at Bay Pines. His first exam by a VA neurologist, he recalls, was a waste of time.
And what the doctor charted was there was nothing wrong with me.
How much time did the doctor spend with you?
The doctor herself spent about 6 minutes.
It went downhill from there.
The VA sucks. They're terrible.
I called the White House hotline.
Mike met with a series of VA doctors. No one had answers.
Call 911.
The episodes became more frequent, more painful. He sent email after email to the VA.
The titles are begging for help. I sent 61 emails.
In September, one VA neurologist wrote, "It seems like your pain is more complex than we can handle at this facility." Hospitalized for 6 days, things spun out of control. According to an email to the Bay Pines chief of staff from Mike's wife, Shelley, a doctor saw Mike in his Bay Pines hospital room and delivered a message.
You're a drug seeker and a faker. Then he grabbed me right here at my neck where it was swollen, and he's shaking me around. And then I said, "What are you doing here? Are you crazy?" He goes, "Oh, you're talking normal now. You're just a faker. I told you that's what you were."
Days later, another VA doctor reviewed Mike's chart. He wrote, "This patient has no active neurological disease to require further attention from our neurology service."
You're an idiot. You have documentation after documentation of this man's problems, and I cannot believe that you can't recognize that he's got a neurological problem. You're a neurologist. Are you kidding me?
Nursing notes show that on October 1st, the attending VA physician said, "We've tried everything. Now we're going to try nothing and see how bad it gets."
You're going to let him lay there and suffer like that and not do anything about it?
So they're just wanting me to hurt so bad that I either die or leave. So I left.
Mike left for Tampa General Hospital, where within a half hour, doctors diagnosed him with a neurological disorder in which nerve cells within the brain trigger uncontrollable muscle contractions.
I guess I'm going to try to ride it out. That's it. It's all in here. Oh.
You don't have any neurological problem, but then Tampa General, within what, half an hour, tells you you have neurological problems. What is wrong with this picture?
What's wrong with this picture? Well, from a medical standpoint, failure to diagnose, failure to treat, failure to implement a care plan.
Boy, and it's hard to watch him writhe in pain there. Just, awful. What does the VA have to say?
Well, they claim, first of all, that the abuse allegations that he's making are unsubstantiated. Now, late this afternoon, the VA sent me a lengthy email. In part, it says Mr. Henry received comprehensive diagnostic and medical workups. That might be true, but you know what? It did not diagnose what was wrong with him, as evidenced in the notes that I showed you. It also claimed Mr. Henry exhibited violent and threatening behavior. Mike Henry contends that he became really upset when the doctor came in and accused him of being a faker and only wanting drugs. He said he ripped off a monitor and headed for the elevator. He didn't get there because he was just too weak.
Well, it sounds like the claims that Henry was, violent, might have been going the other way. I mean, it sounds like he can make the same claim if a doctor's grabbing him and moving him around.
I question really how thorough their investigation was. A lot more coming on this.
All right, thank you, Steve. And if you have a problem you want Steve to investigate, give him a call. He'll investigate for you. The 8 on Your Side helpline is 1-800-338-0808.
We have an update now on the breaking news we brought you at the top of the show. Disturbing new details in a death investigation in the Palm River Claremelle area. Hillsborough County firefighters have now found 3 bodies inside of a home on 16th Avenue North. They discovered those bodies after putting out a fire at that home. Deputies are not sure right now how they died. We have a crew at the scene. We'll bring you more information on News Channel 8 at 7.